When you use a scale, you should be very familiar with the idea that the last number, sometimes the last two numbers, but especially the last number will bounce around a little bit, and you have to stay really, really still until it settles down. What the scale is really doing at that point is it's telling you the best guess on the last digit. That's why it's bouncing like that, is because it's not sure. It's trying to find the best point, and then it's making a guess. It really is, even though it's digital. So in this situation, we can tell because of the bouncing that that last number is kind of a funny number. That's where the number is uncertain. And anyone who looks at numbers in the sciences knows that that last number has some uncertainty or some guess to it. Now, in chemistry, we also measure things with devices that honestly aren't digitized. You can see in this graduated cylinder right here on the left, it has markings. So there's a marking for the 20, it's this big number. And then for the 21, and then the 22, this is 23, 24, and 25. So first of all, that graduated cylinder expects you to be able to, fill in the numbers in between on your head. And then there's this weird kind of curve. We read at the bottom of the curve when we have liquids, because of course they can't be simple and just have a straight line across. So we're zoomed in right here, but when we look at the left, you can tell straight off that that number is somewhere between 21 and 22. And you can be really certain about that. You can say, yeah, it's not above 22. It's not below 21. It's between those two numbers. So you are very certain about that. Now, if we go over to this last side and we see this little line right here, you may see this differently than someone else sees it. So you might say that looks for sure to be 21.7. And your lab partner might say, no way, that's 21.6. And then someone else might come over and look at it straight on and they might say, no, that's 21.8. All of those numbers are okay and considered correct because, again, everyone knows that that last digit is the guess digit. It's the uncertainty of the entire number. And that's why numbers matter, is because you're always making a guess, or your scale is making a guess, or your equipment or your instrument. There's always a guess on that last number. By the way, if you did have a graduated cylinder that had a ton of markings in between here, then it means that you could make a better guess on the number. Because if you had lots of extra markings, you might be able to then say that the number was 21.61 and 21.62 or 21.63. In this case, there are not markings up to the 100th position between here. So you can't be that specific. You cannot, in this situation, say that you can tell what a number is out to the 100th place. You can't. You can only imagine approximately 10 divisions in most situations. You can only imagine 10 divisions, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then this is the 10th. And that's, everyone also understands that. You can't imagine 100, but you can imagine a 10, and so your guess is based on there being 10 divisions. So be careful with equipment that you're looking at to not try to add numbers at the end to try to make it a better number. These are actually worse numbers. These are the correct and the good numbers.